If God can get you here, he can keep you here. Hey y'all, it's Keontae, your multi-hyphenate queen, and I am so excited for this video. I have had this idea on my heart for a very long time. I just feel like I just want to give back and just share all of the information that I have, because I have conversations with people here in New York City, my friends, professionals, and I'm like, I have a lot of knowledge on different things about the industry, and I don't have to wait until like I make it to share all of the things that I've learned. So this series will be me giving all of the information that I know about the industry. Specifically, chasing your dreams, moving to a new city to pursue Broadway, to pursue musical theater, to become a dancer, become an artist. I think the information that I have can transfer between different industries when it comes to either you want to be a dancer, you want to be a singer, but mainly I have information about being on Broadway, doing auditions in New York City, moving from like down south to up north, training, different things that I've just learned along the way. And granted, I am still on this journey. I am still learning every single day about this industry. It is constantly changing. Things are up in the air, things are slow, things are going really quickly. Audition seasons are happening, training, getting agents, getting managers, doing Off-Broadway, doing workshops, all of the things. Like, there's so much that happens in this industry, and that's why I'm like, let me just put everything in one place. So, little backstory, I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and I wanted to be a professional dancer, like concert dancer. I went to college and that was my focus. But I grew up in a musical theater company called Youth Ensemble of Atlanta, where I didn't really know how I could do that as a career. It was just something that I love to do. I love to sing, I love to act, I love to dance. So when I went to college, I was on scholarship as a dance major, and we couldn't do all the different things on campus. Like, that's just how it was during that time. It was a new BFA program at Alabama State University where we had to focus strictly on dance. I had a dream of being on Broadway one day, but I didn't know how I was going to get there, because I'm like, I don't live in New York City. I don't have family in New York City. How am I going to make it to New York City? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use dance to kind of get me there eventually. Graduated from Alabama State University. I spent 2 summers with a professional dance company, and I thought that that's where I was gonna be. Didn't happen, which is okay, because that shift literally took me to New York City. I had an dance intensive. You don't know what a dance intensive is where you basically train for a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, with a company or with a program, and you basically just dance it out for hours and hours and hours. And this was also with another professional dance company, and it just so happened to be in New York City. And thank God I had a great relationship with my professors that helped me find somewhere to stay, helped me with my scholarship to go to the intensive. I stayed on the couch of one of my professor's friends, and thank God he was in the Broadway community. So I'm sleeping on his couch, and literally he's like, yeah, like, what do you want to do? You know, you just want to be a dancer? Are you interested in other things? I was like, yeah, I'm interested in, singing, acting, dancing. I didn't know that I can just go to auditions. So that began my journey with auditioning in New York City. If I had to give any tips about what you do before coming to New York City, I would say, if you're in a town that has an equity theater, audition there first, because sometimes those equity regional theaters have connections with Broadway casting, with production teams for different Broadway shows. The music director may be a future music director on Broadway. The choreographer, same thing. So I would say, first things first, research regional theaters and equity houses in your state or city. Make connections at your regional theater in your area, because I didn't know that was a thing like at all. I didn't know that that was something that would be valuable to my journey. Some people have done regional theater jobs and come to New York City, and casting already knows them because they did regional shows within that same casting, company. Make connections with people that are in New York City. Literally, it takes nothing to DM somebody that you admire or that inspires you. You may see like their career journey. Send a pleasant, DM and just be like, hey, I've been watching your career for so long. I really admire what you've done. Just, letting you know that I, thank you for being an inspiration. That's it. Just send, because that creates relationships and connections. And I'm not saying DM everybody all day, every day. I'm not saying that. But start finding ways to make these connections. When Broadway tours come to your city, go see their shows. Go see their shows. Like, make those connections. See what is being pushed out of New York City. You gotta get here. I'm sorry, you have to get here. If your dream is to be on Broadway, come to New York City. I know we take our vacations, we take our, we go on different trips and things. Make one of those trips to New York City. If you're in college and you have a spring break or you have a summer break and your parents say you, hey, you can go wherever, make one of those trips to New York City. When I was in college, during the summer, I was in a different state every summer. My junior year, my sophomore year, I did an intensive in New York City, Joffrey Ballet School, because I'm like, hey, I need to actually go to New York City to see what's what. Also, you're in college or in high school, do your research on scholarship programs for intensives that are here in New York City. I did not know about the different intensives that were happening in New York City. The only one I knew about kinda was like the Alvin Ailey dance intensive. And you had to audition, had to pay all this money, all the things. But there are some places that have full-on programs, like Broadway Dance Center has a semester of like a intensive. Like, do the research, see what opportunities are here in New York City before you come, especially if you are a student. If you're an adult, do your research on different Broadway shows that are coming to your city. Make the connections with those people in the shows, or just like follow them on Instagram, see what they post. Because sometimes people post their journey, people post their agents, people post their managers. Like, really be a sponge to all of the things that you need before you get here. Because once you get here, it's so many opportunities that it's just here at your footsteps. If you're taking time to get here, you need to make sure that you have some type of knowledge of what's going on. When you get here to New York City, when you're thinking about coming to New York City, we all think about, okay, how am I going to pay my bills? Where am I going to stay? How am I going to survive? I don't have a job. I don't have an agent. I don't have all these things. When I tell you, if God can get you here, He can keep you here. I'm just saying, it will work out as long as you just step out on faith and put yourself out there. Before you get here, ask around your family. Hey, do you have any family in New York City or in Jersey or Connecticut and somewhere close to New York City? Now, me, I didn't have anyone in New York City. I had one cousin who lived in Trenton, New Jersey, which was far away, but it was a train ride to New York City. If you're in college, your professors are the key. When I tell you, thank God I had a great relationship with all of my professors, because I just had to pick up the phone like, hey, I need a couch to stay on. And they literally was like, okay, bet, I'm gonna hook you up with my friend here. This is that. I'm gonna let them know you're coming, let them know this and that. Like, I'm so grateful for my professors, because they literally are the reason why I was able to get to New York City. When it comes to also trying to find somewhere to stay, there are a couple places, that I used to use. I used to use Gypsy Housing on Instagram. And there's a site on Instagram called I believe it's called New York NYC sublets. It's basically people in the industry who need their rooms taken over for a certain amount of time, sometimes a long time, but they're in the industry. Why this is important is because if you're staying in someone's place that is in the industry, who's on Broadway, whatever, that's another connection. Granted, make sure you are a great tenant. Sometimes staying with people who are in the industry, within the community, sometimes it's a good thing for you because you're making connections no matter what. When I first came to New York City, like I said, I was staying on my professor's friend's couch who had been on Broadway. So he was able to give me all of the tea. When I moved into my sublet where I was renting a room, one of the girls in the apartment with me didn't know her at all, but she was on a tour. So it was great for me to just be around people in the industry. When you're in the space where you're like, okay, I'm gonna get to New York City, I wanna move to New York City, I wanna get there and train. Before you get here, y'all see those virtual casting submissions? Do them. Do them. I used to think that, oh, they're not looking at them. They are. They are. They are looking at video submissions. And if you're submitting to the same casting team that is hosting all these virtual auditions, like Telsey, like Tara Rubin, they always post virtual auditions. Do them, because you get in their system where they may send you appointments for stuff even without you having an agent. And if they send sides and send songs with the virtual audition, you can keep that for yourself so you can practice before you get to New York City, where you already have the breakdown or the audition information for different Broadway shows before you even get here. Use your resources. Literally, it's there for a reason. You can go on Playbill, you can go on Actress Equity. If you want to pay to become Actress Equity, great. My personal take, when you get here and you can afford to choose what auditions you want to do and what auditions you don't want to do, then you could be like, okay, I only want to do equity because I want to do Broadway only. Granted, Broadway is very crazy right now, so just getting the experience may be helpful. But like I said, if you want to become equity before getting here, cool, because maybe you don't want to stand in the line and wait and have uncertain audition days. That's totally fine. It's totally up to the person. Truly, looking at those virtual auditions, looking at those online submissions or online where you can find auditions in New York City, look at them. Because what I learned is that regional theaters across the country book out of New York City. They may have auditions in-house, like in there, like say Utah, they may have them, but they have auditions in New York City. When I was at Alabama State, I was like, why I never saw auditions for these shows at Alabama Shakespeare Festival? It's because the auditions were in New York City. They're in New York City. But I was right down the street. You know, we didn't know. We just didn't know at the time. Granted, it's probably different now, but we just didn't know. So literally being here is very beneficial if you want to do this professionally, especially musical theater. The best times to visit New York City, to me, if you want to get a taste of auditioning and just the different opportunities that are here in New York City, would be January through March/April, September through December, November, like before Thanksgiving, or even after. I would say like September through December, only because audition season started this week. January 5th was the start of audition season for Broadway shows, different workshops, different gigs, different regional theaters. Like I said, like regional theaters book out of New York City. There are other theaters and musical theater opportunities in New York City that are not just Broadway. Some Off-Broadway, which is still Broadway, but it's just Off-Broadway. It's a different category of Broadway. And regional theater, like I said, yes, the beginning of the year is audition season, but also I feel like I got a lot of auditions. Even when I first was settled in New York City, I got a lot of auditions in like October, November, December time. There's a lot of college kids and high school students here January through March, because I think that's like prime like field trip time. But it could be great for those people because there are a lot of auditions. I was doing a master class for a school, and some of those kids went to like a Wicked audition. It was an open call, or not open call, it was like an ECC. But if you're non-union, you can go and get the chance of being seen. But it was a great experience for them because some of them, it was their first Broadway audition, which is so amazing. Like so amazing. My first Broadway show audition wasn't Wicked, it was Chicago. Got typecasted out. I wasn't union, so that's the gamble that you go in. But I think the very first one was Lion King that I actually got seen at, and it was amazing. I was like, oh my god, this is like a Broadway audition. Like, I had no idea what to expect. I was just going in and doing my best. So like literally just taking the chance of just being here. You never know what you may gain from just being in the room or even being in the building around other people. So visiting during those times is always great. Always. I'll get ahead of myself. I'm gonna close out this video. You have to watch the next video to see what happens or what advice I'm gonna give you guys for you're here in New York City, now what? Please continue, watch the second video, and on this will be a series. I'm gonna continue to just go through all the different stages of my advice for becoming a professional here in New York City. So see you on the next video. Bye.